nothing is better than having other people do your selling for you, which is really what the importance of reviews are. So that's what I'm going to talk about. 2 weeks ago when I started this little thing on how to build a successful storefront for your, like if you're going to do something with Wedding Wire, or you're going to be with The Knot or Eventective or mywedding.com, any of those big wedding websites, is that you really have to know how to use those websites to the best of their ability, because you can position yourself in a way that gives you the best visibility, and it lets you reach out to a much broader spectrum of people through that wedding website. So the first week I talked about the importance of getting the right photographs on your storefront, and last week I talked about the importance of choosing the right words and how to highlight words in places like some of the wedding storefronts don't let you use colors and bolds and italics and different kinds of things that we might normally use to make things stand out. And then this week is reviews. And reviews, maybe why you're not getting reviews, and what to do about that. And one of the reasons that we have trouble with reviews is that we don't ask. First of all, we don't ask. And so you have to be willing to ask for reviews. And one of the things that they do on the Wedding Wire and The Knot is they give you kind of like a template that you can use to ask for reviews, because they also know the importance of reviews, and so they're always encouraging you to get more reviews. A good review will really do a lot more inviting of potential couples to trust you when you can get them. So first of all, you have to ask for them, number one. And number two, take those templates that they have and really mess around with them. Like, put some of your own sense of humor in them. Change the wording, make them shorter, make them longer, whatever really suits the way that you talk and the way that you relate to people, rather than just use simply what they have. But the number one way you can get good reviews from people as well is, when you mess around with those templates, is to make it as easy for them as possible to write you a review. So how I do this is that I think, people are busy, and sometimes people are very self-conscious, don't you think? And they don't really know what to put in a review, or they're not sure if they're going to say it right or do it right or whatever. So when I ask anybody for a review, I always ask them to cover certain points. So this is what I do. I ask people how they felt about how I portrayed their love story, and if they want to comment on that. And then I ask them to say if I was easy to work with. Short and sweet. I don't do a lot. I don't want to make it too long. I don't want to give them too many options and kind of roll their eyes and go, oh God, I got to write all this stuff for them. And then one of the things that I do when I get a review, if I'm going to reuse it, because there's nothing that you can do about a review on any of the websites other than respond to them. And I've seen statistics too that say that when you get a review on your wedding storefront, that people like it when they see how you respond to the reviews. So you want to make sure that you respond to any of those reviews. But I often take some of those reviews and I'll take a little snippet of it. I definitely make them smaller, because if you've got any reviews, sometimes people will go on and on and on, which is really nice for me to read. But when somebody remember I talked about people don't read wedding storefronts or websites, they scan them. So if anything is too long, their eyes are going to glaze over and they're just going to go on to the next thing. So I always pare them down, and then I will take some of those and I use them in my signature line when I send out emails and that kind of thing. So that's another way that you can use them. And then another way to really encourage people to give you a review is to make them feel like they're a part of something bigger just than this one interaction that we're having at the end of our relationship with each other. And it's not really the end, but it's going to take a whole different shape and form. I remind them that when they first found me, they were new at things too, and they didn't know what to expect. So they can actually help new couples to not have to go through the same kinds of anxieties that they did finding the right person, because the words that they say will matter, and they will be able to have as good of an experience as the people that I'm asking the review for. So I try to make it seem like they're part of helping new couples find the right people to be on their wedding team. So that's another way to get it, to give them an incentive. So there have been times when I offer, like I have a PDF that I give away for free that is 20 dates that you can go on. Maybe you've got something like that that you can put together that would be fun, or it can be, how to be still in love with your mate in 20 years, or different things like that. I'm sure many of you have a lot better ideas about that kind of thing. As I always include the links to everything, and I'll do that as many times as I send a request to them. And then the last thing that I wanted to share is that there have been times when people don't leave that great of a review. Not in my case. I had one person give me a really bad review once, and that's a whole nother story. That was crazy. So anyway, but the way that I responded to her really mattered. If somebody has gives you a bad review, these bangs will not stay in place, is to ask them what you could do to make it right with them, because you want them to have the best memories possible of their wedding ceremony. That also helps to temper any kind of a bad review, to really take things head on. And then go from there. And how you respond will show people whether you're level-headed, whether you're kind, these will also give them reasons to say, I think I want to work with that person, even if you have a bad review. Like I said, when you do get the reviews and you're going to use them, make them short. Don't make them very long. Just make them nice and short and succinct. The whole point of that is, remember I was using the analogy of the people that come to us and we do their weddings for them. They're like hitchhikers. And so when we're getting reviews, it's like someone saying, I want to go to Detroit. And you say, hey, Sally and John and Bill and Bob, they all went to Detroit with me and they loved going to Detroit with me. Here, listen, see what they have to say. So it really helps you to get credibility and to have that social proof that helps people to trust you. So in the description, I put together a summary of all three how to build a great wedding storefront together. And so there's a link so that you can go ahead and grab that, or get it, or request it. Everything is get and grab. The buttons are get this. And so anyway, templates for asking. I really just use, that's a great question, Mark. What I usually do is I do use the ones that they have, but I amend it. What I always do is I congratulate them and I say what a pleasure it was for me to be a part of their wedding day. It was an honor for me to be there with them. The experience that you have could be someone down the line's experience. So it would be really important for them to be able to read what it is that you think about my services. So would you mind sharing what you thought? What I'm looking for is, did you like the content? Was it what you were expecting? Something like that. And then I would also say how I was to work with. That's the other thing that I ask. So this is what I do. That was the other thing that I was going to talk about, is that I sometimes go 3 times and ask for reviews, and I might wait 2 weeks. So I will send out a request for a review between a week and 2 weeks. Now I have an automatic email system as well. So I will pursue them because I know that people are busy. And I know that they're into getting, settled, and, who knows how much sex they're having, and they just don't have time to write a review. But I continue to ask them for it. And then if I don't get one after the 3rd one, I also send them a follow-up that says, was there something that happened that you were unhappy with? Because if there is, I would really like to make it right with you. So, and then I shut up. I don't say, I'm going to give you your money back or anything like that. I just ask them what they want me to do. Yep, everybody is different. Everybody's different. I had a couple they were at the beginning of October, and I had pronounced them husband and wife. Everybody went crazy. And then they came back up for pictures, and before she did anything, she turned to me and she said that thing, Mark, that you said in that little questionnaire thing that I have on the Facebook feed. She said, I just want you to know, and I'm not saying this just because it was my wedding ceremony. She says, that was the best wedding ceremony I have ever heard. And I cannot get her to write me a review. And I'm like, yeah, but your review would be so good. So, after 3 times, I just go, 3 strikes, you're out, and that's okay. I have plenty. I have plenty of really good reviews. But, reviews really say a lot. And it does give them an opportunity also to give back to us. And sometimes, and it's better if they post them, I think, too. I get, probably all of us have gotten cards that are very nice from the people that we have officiated for. And I have a file where I keep all of my thank you notes. But it has a lot more weight when they post it, when they have the time to post it. All right, well, I just wish you guys a wonderful, wonderful holiday season, whichever one you're celebrating, and that you're kind to yourselves, you're kind to each other, and that you'll always remember that love is the reason that we get to do what we do. Like the middle of the description, I've got a summary of how to build an effective wedding storefront, okay? All right, you're very welcome, you guys. Thank you. Bye.